God knows how much times I fell when I was walking by myself.
Oh, what's going on? This is Mental Health Talks. Welcome to the House of Harmony. I'm Steve Harmony. We're talking about gaslighting today. Whatever. Gaslighting. What is it? How does it relate to mental health? We're gonna find out tonight. Let's kick it off. Born day.
Yo, I don't make excuses, I just put the work in. Scripture after scripture tell me that the devil's lurking. Pain and the pleasure keep a smile, but I'm hurting, cause I know that Yeshua will deliver, that's for certain. Yeah, my greatest enemy is self. Studying the foolishness is taken from my wealth. So sayonara, see you when you come around. Flash a pretty smile, but you really wanna ruin it. Feeling real humiliated. Thought I had the love, but I guess it's fabricated. So guess the joke's on me. You can roll a fatty up and take a toke on me, but I'm just seeing when you come around. See when you come around. Yeah, see when you come around. Yo, it's a different costume, but the same demon. Niggas running around, hooting, hollering, and screaming. Cause they all drugged up, yeah, they all fiending. You know the name rings bells, you just mentioned Steven. I got a gun up in my waist, you got a wallet in your pocket. I pointed at your face and I won't even have to cock it. I'm a motherfucking franchise, call me Stevie Rocket. You can ride the wave, bro, but you cannot stop it. I see it now, cause the throne is ready for the taking. I'm tired of the bullshit that all you niggas making. So stop the noise before me, kick it down like I'm Jamaican. I'm here from my apartment, I am not concerned with waiting. Rest, I do that shit when I'm dead. And in the meantime, I'ma keep on busting your head like a stone from the bush with all the shit that I said. I'm a bitch in my roof and I am seeing the red. See you when you come around. 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 See you when you come around.
Yeah, what's up? Again, this is Mental Health Talks. Welcome to the House of Harmony. I'm Steve Harmony. The song you just heard was See You by myself, Steve Harmony. And the song had a lot of inspiration behind it, but it's basically directed to people who want a place in your life but don't really earn it, but haven't really earned it. People who pretty much leech off you, who know that who leech off you, who do, malicious things towards you. And, this song is just in response to just saying, you know what, yo, I'll see you when you come around, man. I know how you are, I know how you stay, I know how you tan. I'm pretty much your actions don't really affect me anymore. I'll see you when you come around, man. Dealer Croxy, Mr. Donovan, how you doing, sir? What's up, man? Thanks for being here. What's good, brother? Yeah, man. Welcome to the Mental Health Talk, man. This is gaslighting, yo. I hope you could have something to chime in with. Yeah, let's do it, man. Gaslighting. What is it? Whenever I mention gaslighting to people, they're like, "What? What's gaslighting? What does that mean? Where does it come from?" Well, it's let's jump right in, man. Let's not waste any more time. But on the Mental Health Talks, we provide biblical solution to these mental health traumas, issues, and what have you. So we search the scriptures of the Holy Bible to bring resolution and to bring solutions to find solutions and to find things that are wrong. So let's get right in. What's that? Gaslighting, common deflecting. Well said, brother. Well said. I like that. Common deflecting. It's so deflecting. But yo, man, keep on chiming in, Mr. Donovan. That's a great theory right there. Yo, Nacho Nathan, what's going on, brother? Yo, love to hear what you got to say about all this. But yeah, man, gaslighting. Let's start off with the opening scripture. Yeah, when I talk about the Holy Bible, it always goes back to self-examination. So this is one of the Psalms that kind of get into that really get into that. This is Psalm 38, verse 18 to 20. For I will declare my iniquity. I will be sorry for my sin. But my enemies are lively, and they are strong. And they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. They also that render evil for good are my adversaries, because I follow the thing that is good. Yeah, man. So first of all, we all have to acknowledge that we are sinners, and things that we've done knowingly or unknowingly has brought in certain calamities and certain traumas onto us. Certain circumstances onto us, and we have to acknowledge that. And with acknowledging that, we got to make steps towards fixing that, for lack of better words, fixing that in the eyes of the Most High, and fixing that within ourselves. You know what I mean? So these scriptures give direct the direct road on how to do that. Sorry, what's that? What's poppin', brother? All wise and civilized? I feel that. Good to know, man. All wise and civilized. Hey, Linda. I see you in here. What's up, girl? So yeah, with that being said, knowing about our iniquities and knowing about the things that we do often cause certain things to happen to us. So we gotta acknowledge that. But the verse 19 and 20 go on to say that, but my enemies are lively, and they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied. You know what I mean? So sometimes there's even people like, you do things, you sin, and you have certain things certain areas where you fall short at. But then it goes on to say that enemies are lively, like people who actually don't even hold themselves to any type of moral standard. These are the people who are lively and who are like directly against you. A lot of them a lot of them, a good portion of them, 9 out of 10 of them you haven't even met or haven't even had any type of interactions with. It's just this whole slander of character that's going around about yourself, that certain people think that it's a spiritual battle, man. We'll get into that, Ephesians 6. Like, a lot of time people just have it against you just because, man. You know what I mean? They also that render evil for good are my adversaries, because I follow the thing that is good. So when people see you trying to live morally sound, it just throws them off. Like, you see it all the time, man. Your spirit upsets people's demons. You know what I mean? You see that quote around all the time, and it really that pretty much sums it up, man. You can expound on that a lot, but that's pretty much how it goes. Let's get into the opening statement about what gaslighting is. This is the Wikipedia definition. A lot of gaslighting terms I've seen, a lot of gaslighting, websites and blogs, and a lot of different writings I've seen have related gaslighting to, intimate relationships. That is very true, and even the movie where it comes from, Gaslight, it was an intimate relation. I haven't watched the movie, but from what I've read, I know that it was a couple, a man and wife, who, the man was gaslighting her, just, tricking her psychologically, making her think that, her reality wasn't so, about things that he was doing, just having this sorcery on her, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's very deep like that. But gaslighting can definitely come into all realms of life, man. Not just intimate relationships, marriages, or anything like that. It's definitely in all areas of life. People that have no regard for your feelings are dangerous people. Absolutely, man. I'm going to talk about that. There's a certain section where I highlight on, narcissists versus empaths. And narcissists are the gaslighters. Empaths are the, I'll say, victims, for lack of a better word. Gaslighting is like what I pointed out last week in Gangstalking. Gaslighting was the number one tactic the first tactic that I had on the list for what they utilize in their attacks against people. It's just, now I'm not doing what you say I'm doing, when they're clearly doing when they're clearly, doing things against you, man. But gaslighting is, hey, I'm not doing what you say it is that I'm doing. It's just lying. You know what I mean? But let's get into these statements here. Let's get into it, yo. That's why you're here, and thank you for being here. Gaslighting from Wikipedia. Gaslighting is a colloquialism, loosely defined as making someone question their reality. The term may also be used to describe a person, a gaslighter, who presents a false narrative to another group or person which leads them to doubt their own perceptions and become disoriented or distressed. Generally, this dynamic is only possible when the audience is vulnerable. The audience, the person being gaslighted, is vulnerable. Such as unequal power relationships, when the audience is fearful of the losses associated with challenging the false narrative. So picture that, man. It's just a power structure thing. You know what I mean? It says the audience. The audience is the person being gaslighted. The gaslighter is the power structure, for lack of better words. This person is gaslighting this person, like just making them believe something that is not true. The audience, or we'll say you for examples. For example, they won't challenge the false narrative, the straight lie, just for fear of being cut off. For fear of being cut off and losing whatever advantages they have within this, toxic relationship, whether it be a toxic relationship in a marriage, a toxic relationship at work, a toxic relationship anywhere you can think of, right? The audience will not challenge that false narrative just for security's sake. Let's go again. The term may also be used to describe a person, a gaslighter, who presents a false narrative to another group or person which leads them to doubt their own perceptions and become disoriented or distressed. So this person will be like telling you, no, that didn't happen. Like, no, you didn't experience that. And you're just there like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I just have to sit with this, because if I go straight at it, it's going to affect my livelihood. It's going to affect my livelihood. But a deeper sense of gaslighting is actually making you believe, like a stronghold gaslighting will actually make you believe that they'll twist it up, and they'll twist it up so nicely that you'll actually believe what they're saying. But this little short definition is it goes into, generally this dynamic is only possible when the audience is vulnerable. So when you're vulnerable in an emotional state, This is when they attack with that sorcery. Is vulnerable, such as in unequal power relationships, or when the audience is fearful of the losses associated with challenging the false narrative. Excuse me. Gaslighting is not necessarily malicious or intentional, although in some cases it is. Not necessarily, but I highly disagree with that. I think gaslighting is highly intentional and highly malicious, man. It is a wicked weapon, and yeah, that's Wikipedia's take on it. You can check that out for yourself. Opening statements, some opening dots and sprinkles onto what gaslighting is that I took down. Gaslighting is a form of witchcraft and sorcery. Straight. A form of witchcraft and sorcery. And those two things, witchcraft and sorcery, have been the craft. Oh man. The way the Bible highlights witchcraft, craft, sorcery, those types of things is you don't want to be on that side of the person who's doing those types of things. But the Bible highlights witchcraft and sorcery on a physical level, but it can also be on like a psychological level where there's nothing physical administered. You know what I mean? The Bible speaks a lot about it on like, witchcraft being like spells. I forgot to mention that. Witchcraft and sorcery being spells, things that you say that twist and turn people. Think about it. The first type of sorcery that was done, the first type of gaslighting or sorcery or lying that was done was in the Garden of Eden, man. When Satan was talking to Eve, man, just tricking her. Well, it wasn't really gaslighting, but just tricking her into partaking in the fruit. Right. Gaslighting is casting spells. Gaslighting is manipulation. Gaslighting is essentially lying. The dynamic of a relationship that involves gaslighting would likely involve these two characters, empaths and narcissists. All right, yo, let's go. Let's get more into it. Someone who gaslights, and I took a lot of posts and a lot of things from straight off of Pinterest as well. Someone who gaslights you is trying to talk you out of your experience to alleviate their shame and responsibility to an issue. It's a tool to control and manipulate you. That was a quote from Henry Cloud. Someone who gaslights you is trying to talk you out of your experience to alleviate their shame and responsibility to an issue. Yeah. What's going on here? I think I saw Alana. What's up? And Ty, what's up, yo? Yeah. OMG. Oh my gosh. Toronto. Hello. What else? Gaslighting is to take the attention off me and put it on you. Exactly. Yes. Experience with me that happened with me. Narcissist. Yes. Preach, Steve. Malignant narcissist is what you're describing to me. Yes. Manipulation. Yes. And yeah, man. Hello. Oh my gosh, Toronto. Truth blazing. Yes, sir. Natural Nathan. Someone who is gaslighting you is trying to talk you out of your experience to alleviate their shame and responsibility to an issue. These are perfect liars, man. I don't know. Has anyone experienced what I've been bringing forth so far? Can anyone relate to these experiences? If so, yo, drop a 1 in the chat. Someone who gaslights you is trying to talk you out of your experience to alleviate their shame and responsibility. It's a tool to control and manipulate you. Yeah, man. What's a prime example of gaslighting, man? Let's carry on. And here's some gaslighting terms or gaslighting instances for lack. Gaslighting, verb, when someone intentionally twists your perception of reality for their own gain, based on the play and movie Gaslight. Someone gaslights you by trying to convince you that, here we go. This is again from some Pinterest stuff. Someone gaslights you by trying to convince you that what you saw you didn't see. What you didn't see, you saw. What you said, you didn't say. What you didn't say, you said. What they said, they didn't say. What they didn't say, they said. What they did, they didn't do. What they didn't do, they did. What you heard, you didn't hear. What you didn't hear was there for the hearing. So you can see how these psychological, these mind games. This is all mind games, man. This is like high level, like essentially a person who they literally want to suck the energy, life, and soul out of you by playing these mind games, man. By playing these mind games, having you get upset within yourself, having you lose your composure. These are mind games. All right. Here's a couple websites that I was looking up in relation to gaslighting. Why are empaths so easy to gaslight? Remember I was talking about, gaslighters are narcissists, and people being gaslighted are empaths. Are empaths easy to gaslight and derail? Let's get into that first. But why are empaths easy to gaslight and derail? 1. Empaths are extremely perceptive. An empath can genuinely see and feel the alternative reality that a narcissist creates. This creates cognitive dissonance between the empath's actual experience and the narcissist's version of the events. So pretty much an empath can just sense, has a spidey sense, has, a spiritual sense that, the words that are coming out of your mouth, what you're telling me doesn't actually line up with what I experienced, and I can just feel that, no matter what you say. What you're telling me is like, besides the fact that I clearly witnessed it and experienced it and can, tell it back play for play what happened or what didn't happen, I can just ultimately sense it within myself. Heaven, yeah. Chief Blaze of Hell, yes. Sorry for the hell. Yeah, heaven, yeah. Yep, that happened to me with a relationship I was involved in. Sometimes with their discard, it can affect you for years too. That's evil and wicked. Narcissist is slandering me. A gaslighter sounds like a psychological abuser based on those definitions. It absolutely is. Oh my gosh, Toronto. A psychological abuser, you hit it right on the head. It's manipulation, psychological abuse. And if you check out the posting later, you'll get those definitions. It's gaslighting is psychological abuse. Clearly, yeah, you hit it right on the head. I got nothing else to add to that. Well, yeah. Manipulation, psychological abuse. What did somebody say? What did Donovan say it right at the beginning? That was spot on as well. Gaslighting is common deflecting, right? Straight. So narcissists are hurt individuals stemmed from childhood. That can very much be the case. That can very much be the case that narcissists are, narcissists who gaslight are actually hurt individuals, and when they're put on the spot with things that they've done, they'll gaslight you and trick you out of knowing what you know. They don't like to be put on the spot because when they're put on the spot, they actually feel very vulnerable, and they themselves can't really own up to be accountable for things that they do to people and to people and how they treat people. Yo, Trinidad 1, what's going on? Shalom, brother. Yeah, So yeah, back to those. But why are empaths easy to gaslight? An empath is a caring, a person who has morality, man. A caring individual, a person who, An empath is not going to give a bleep, fill in the blank, man. They're just out like that's one of their tools that they use to get around and to get through life, to get over you. I'm not gonna admit that. Who are you to admit that I did something to you? F you, like I don't have to admit myself to you or anybody. Like this is their mindset, man. This is their mindset. They don't have to they don't have to bow, for lack of better words, to you about any offense. Why in the heck should I do that? Reason number 2. Empaths can also see beyond the surface. Underneath the narcissist's harmful words and actions, empaths can also see beyond the surface. It says, underneath the narcissist's harmful words and actions, the empath sees the true, higher self of that person. It can be tempting for an empath to hold out hope that someday, maybe even with the empath's help, this higher self will be revealed and take over. Potential is a dangerously addicting drug. That was combos in there, man. You know what I mean? An empath can they just look at the world differently. That like they look at what hope might be for this person instead of looking at what it is, man. You know what I mean? Instead of they're too hopeful, like they're self-sacrificing in that way, and it's self-destructive in that way. And a narcissist knows this and feeds off of that spiritually. Like they'll be spiritually raping you within this relationship, and raping you physically as well, in whatever sense they can, whether it's through resources or whatever else, man. They're just in it to take, man. They're just in it to take, and they're using gaslighting whenever there's, because come on, in a relationship, in any type of relationship, there's going to be friction. There's going to be some type of friction. This is what talking is all about. This is what talking and settling differences within a relationship, any relationship, is all about. Whether that be family relationship, whether that be marriage relationships, whether that be in a work setting relationship, any relationship is going to have friction where, okay, I didn't like that, let's talk. So when that happens, when a narcissist is involved, a narcissist will use will gaslight and will deny every claim of what happened, and that will snowball. That will just leave things unsettled and leave bitterness in a relationship, especially when it keeps happening. Especially when that thing keeps happening. Okay, when there's friction, when there's offenses in a relationship, okay, let's talk. Yo, I experienced this. I experienced this. Could you not do this, why, this, and this? On the most basic terms. I didn't like when this and this happened. The narcissist's derailment or response will be, none of that happened. I don't know what you're talking about. This is that. I'm here. F you. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like there's nothing to bring forth. There's nothing to correct. If that is a relationship in 2021, any type of relationship, I just gotta know, man. But yeah, that's essentially the how an empath thinks on it. You know what I mean? An empath is hoping for the best with this person, and essentially is destroying themselves rather than seeing things for what it is. So we got things happening in here. Shalom, yes, brother Trinidad. Shalom. Malignant. I read run or deflect as soon as they are soon to be found out. Yeah, I think I know what you. As soon as they're about to be found out, they run or deflect. Big tactic from a gaslighter, man. Well, that's pride then, of course. Spiritual rape, yes, by the narcissist. Yep. Narcissists are teachers, pastors, and coaches. They always work themselves. They always, especially in this world that we're living in, this demoralized world, narcissists who use gaslighting will 9.5 99.945 times out of 10 will be in an authoritative position. A gaslighter will be in an authoritative position. But it's up to you, it's up to the other side to get over it spiritually and to have patience. And that's why in all cases you actually give thanks, because in these dynamics you're building yourself up spiritually, man. And you got to give the Most High thanks for that. You can't talk to a malignant narcissist. LOL. You can't, Steve. You know, I agree. You know what I mean? I'm coming to point number 2 in this blog post. It's stating that empaths always try to find like the higher route, like always try to have hope for this person, like sees like the higher good in them, when this person doesn't even see that in themselves, and they're obviously not acting in that manner. So you know, in that whole dynamic, the empath can actually end up destroying themselves, constantly pushing for the narcissist to come to that higher self, when they're just constantly rejecting and denying any claim of anything that happens in a relationship. Because again, any relationship, this is why we have this is why we're all different. If we were all the same, and you know what I mean, like, this is why we're adults, because so that we can talk and settle our differences and grow. And like, this is what it's about, right? This is what adulting is about. This is what a relationship is about: talking and finding solutions. And it's obviously you can't do that when you're trying to bring things to the table about things that you experience, no matter how small or big, and no matter how much, because it takes a certain level of humility to even bring it to the table, rather than bottling it up. So when you bring it to the table and your claims constantly get shut down, derailed, and cast off the table, it's, you know what I mean? Yeah. Intentionally Nathan, hello, how you doing? I got sorry if I did anything wrong, but I just don't think they did anything wrong. I'm not sure what you mean by that one. Chris Honda Johnson, hello. Narcissist is just not saved at all. They need Jesus, period. I agree, they do need the Savior. They do need Christ. 1 second, be right back. 1 second. Yes. All right. So back to that blog post in that paragraph. Point number 3 on but why are empaths so easy to gaslight? This is from the moodandmanifest.com. Why are empaths easy to gaslight? You can check that out on your time. Point number 3, they also tend to be self-sacrificing, preferring to focus on the needs, emotions, and experiences of others rather than their own. They are often chronic people pleasers. I was just about to say that before. People pleasers. They are often chronic people pleasers because they would rather walk in someone else's shoes than their own. This makes them easily manipulated. People pleasers. How many people can raise their hand on that for being a people pleaser and just, you know, again, almost destroying yourself in toxic relationships, man. Again, these when I say toxic relationships, I'm not necessarily just talking about marriages or intimate relationships. Toxic relationships can be friendships, you know, work relationships. You know, obviously you gotta take your work relationships with a grain of salt. Or, you know what I mean, you got to do what you got to do for your living. What else? What other types of relationships? Any type of relationship where it's just an unbalanced dynamic. You know what I mean? Where it's constantly one person's way. Here we go. Let's back up a little bit. Put it to the pen and paper and keep a record. Watch things get real. You know what I mean? When you really write things, if you were to write things down about, you know, what you did experience and, you know, what you experienced and what you did not experience and all that, exactly. If you kept a rap sheet, for lack of better words, of the things that happened or did not happen within a relationship, yeah. And one day, if you were to actually, if you were to just be quiet about all those things, just say, bow your head on all those situations, and then one day bring it up, dates, times, situations. Oh man, a narcissist, like, this is the thing. A narcissist does not like being on the hot seat. This is why they gaslight and, flip the script and just cast spells on you to make you think that to discredit your experience. You know what I mean? What else? So when the narc, when apologizing to me, they said sorry if I did anything wrong, but Donovan, I don't think I did anything wrong. Right. Excuse me. You have those narcissistic apologies. Definitely. Like apologies like I'm sorry I'm sorry that you experienced that, or those false apologies, man, that take no accountability and make you and just still leave you like, yo, what am I really, like, yo, I'm worth more than this, like, yo, I got more in my heart than to be giving it to this, you know what I mean? Why am I, you know what I mean? For sure, I know exactly what you're saying there. Most of the narcissist friends are other narcissists. Birds of a feather flock together. Malignant narcissists have a lot of damaged relationships. When you trace back, it's them who is the problem. Yo, fair enough, man. You know what I mean? Well said. You know what I mean? I can't argue with you there, man. I cannot argue with you there. Yes, keep their records so they can't gaslight no one. You know what I mean? Yeah, thank you guys for all your input on this, man. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I agree with all these. I agree with all these things and keeping record and all that stuff. But in 2021, are we really going into 2022? Are we really going to be putting up with things like this? Are we really going to be putting up with relationships like this, especially the ones that we don't have to endure? You know what I mean? Especially the ones because friends eventually become family. You know what I mean? Of course, you're going to have, your work relationships or other commitments where, things where you have to be committed to a certain thing to keep certain levels of your livelihood intact. But yeah, man, the ones that you choose, the ones that are chosen outside of those realms, are we really going to be putting up and spending our energy on listing things that a narcissist is doing, or are we going to be putting that energy into people we actually love and people who actually appreciate us, man? Just throwing that out there. 2021, 2022, it's not worth it. You damn right, man. You are absolutely right. I'm happy to say I would definitely agree with that. And the last point I have on this, why are empaths easy to gaslight, is empaths despise conflict and disharmony. And I didn't choose that point because of the harmony thing. Number 4, empaths despise conflict and disharmony. Right. I cannot stand being in a situation where things are just off. By abandoning their own needs, empaths prevent conflict and allow the narcissist to avoid admitting fault or failure. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's all I'm going to say on that. Next, the narcissist will start to derail conversations. Derailment. Okay. We're on track with something. Derailment. And a narcissist will just use their tactics, use their spells to change the subject and switch the focus. Get the whole situation off track, and then eventually something is pointing at you. Some situation is pointing at you that had nothing to do with the initial conversation. They'll derail the original conversation, whip up some spell within their emotional state and within their childlike childlike frantic motions by being on the hot seat, and throw the conversation back towards you. Oh man, excuse me. Keeping the record, just move forward and be thankful when they discard you and not use you again for their narcissistic supply. I agree. I mean, we really don't want to be having these types of relationships in 2022. It's really not worth it, man. We've grown, those things, like being right is Bible explains it too, man. You know what I mean? Bible explains it in a discreet kind of way. It's not worth being right. You know what I mean? The Bible explains it in so many words that just to do what's right, essentially, rather than for lack of better words, in one summary, it says remaining in the Spirit. You know, just remaining in the Spirit, and that pretty much sums it up. Remaining in the Spirit, operating in wisdom. You know, because if you're always right and you're trying to win the moral high ground through strife and through friction, you end up losing. You really end up losing because you're really just draining yourself. So the Bible explains to just stay in the Spirit. Just off of one, just summarizing it on a whole. Excuse me one sec. Right? I love making a narc think they won. So, Donovan's the real mastermind. Donovan's just, yes, I got your number kind of thing. Oh my gosh, Toronto, yep. Narcissists love being right, and they have pride, ego, big ones. Absolutely. You're right. And again, that's what I was explaining, that the Bible just explains to just stay in the Spirit, and you don't necessarily, you're trying to operate on a moral level that other people don't operate on, man. You know what I mean? Phil Collins, the man, explained it in a song, I Don't Care Anymore. I'm going to pull up those lyrics real quick if you guys don't mind. One line he said in particular in like the second or third verse. Let me just run that. I don't think I can play that song for copyright stuff. I Don't Care Anymore is the song. He says, I got better things to do with my time. I don't care what you say. We never played by the same rules anyway. This is Phil Collins. I don't care anymore. He breaks it down. I think he's speaking to a narcissist who's gaslighting him here. In verse 2 or 3 of the chorus, he goes, I don't care what you say. We never played by the same rules anyway. I won't be there anymore. Get out of my way. Let me by. I got better things to do with my time. You know what I mean? Just like I was explaining. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Yo, straight. Even an empath has a limit, and it's just when it gets to that point, it's just like, nah, man. We ain't writing down history of this, that, or the other. Matter of fact, from the jump, if I sense these things, cap. It's done. It's nothing else to talk about. It's not about who is right, it's about what is right. Thank you so much, Natural Nathan, for bringing that out. This is what we're getting into in this realm of life, in this chapter of life. We're not about, we're not here to prove being right to anyone anymore, man. I'm making that proclamation that we're not about being right to anyone anymore, and we're not pouring into things that ain't pouring back into us like that anymore, man. It's not about being right. You want to be right. You want to have, in the most ridiculous situations, you want to have like the quote unquote righteous. Be my guest, man. You want to be all that. Again, the Bible explains being in the Spirit, and Brother Nathan was just saying, it's not about being right, it's about doing what is right. So there is no ego back and forth battle. Absolutely. Some people may have a narcissistic trait, but they might not be a narcissist. A narcissist, exactly. Which, in other words, means everyone needs correction. No one is perfect. Iron sharpens iron. This is why we're all here. You know what I mean? Some of these things that, I may be saying could be affecting you. Some of the stuff that you guys are saying in the comments may be, affecting me. But this is why we're here to talk and to have these discourses. This is exactly what a narcissist would not be doing, talking and having these discourses to sharpen one another up, to be better people overall, so that we spread love, man. You know what I mean? Spread love, correct one another in love and in decency. And this is what it's all about. It's about discussion and conversation, not debate and back and forth. This is how to keep balance and harmony, like bra Steve. Thank you, brother. Absolutely. Like exactly what you said just a while ago as well, man. It's about discussion and conversations, finding resolutions, finding solutions, finding what the problem is and how we can move forward to evade those problems. On my side, and especially on your side, like I want to know what things, disrupt you and how I can, not muddy those waters and walk aligned with you, because I love you like that and I want to grow with you. I want to, again, I see your best potential, and I would love for us to connect and build, and I want you to bring out that best in me. You know what I mean? I want us to grow on a spiritual level, to just do amazing things. This is what it is, man. Yes, they are dangerous. Yes, they are dangerous. Narcissists, at the end of the day, you got to pray for them, I guess. How can we help people that are being gaslighted? Great question. How can we help them? The first thing is to just recognize. I would say the first thing to do is to, provide them information to let them know that they are being gaslighted. Give them information to let them know that they are being gaslighted, and how to help them out. And when they, when they identify those reasons, when they identify those things, I think, the best thing is to just, that's a good one, just have a support group for, in things like this. Ultimately, you don't want to come in between. It's hard to say. I wouldn't really want to come between anybody's relationships that they have within their lives, unless it was something where it was actual physical damage. But psychological damage is just as bad, man. But I talked to Steve, amazing person to talk to. Thank you, Donovan. You're amazing to talk to too, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? Straight up, hit me up, man. Send the person my way, and we can just talk about whatever, you know what I mean? Provide the person information and education. Education is key. And hopefully the person will come to realize and make an informed decision on whether this relationship benefits them or not. If there's a way to be in it or not, you know what I mean? That's the most you can do. That you provide help that way, support groups, and just be that crutch and that person to talk to for someone being gaslighted, man. I hope that answers the question. Oh my gosh. Toronto, nice products, by the way. Oh my gosh, send I gotta get me some hair oil and all that stuff. Why not, man? Yeah. Mo Green 416. Hi. What's going on? Yeah. So Donovan was saying some of the apologies that a gaslighter does. Gaslighting red flags. Here's some more stuff from Pinterest that I was getting. You apologize without knowing what you're sorry for. What you did wrong. They give you affection, then abruptly take it away. When you try to explain how you feel, they're dismissive. You are overreacting or too sensitive are some quotes that they say. When you try to explain how you feel, they're dismissive. You are overreacting or too sensitive. They insist it didn't happen that way. We've talked about that. You find yourself questioning your beliefs and opinions. If your point of view doesn't match theirs, it's wrong. And there's a way for people to make you oh man. There's an imbalance of power. Imbalance of power. Like, you feel like there's just not any type of it's not a relationship. It's pretty much one person says and one, it's a dictatorship, They assign motives to your actions that are the opposite of your intentions. Let me read that again. They assign motives to your actions that are the opposite of your intentions. Most interactions leave you feeling small or ashamed. Yes, maybe, I don't know. You edit every word before you speak it, changing any thought that could possibly misconstrue. Yeah, you know what I mean? You walk on eggshells with them pretty much. You can't be open and verbal with them, with a person like that. An empath, a narcissist. I got you. Yeah, man. Hope that helped. What if the narcissist comes back? How do you fight back? What do you mean exactly? If they come back, like come back into your life? Come back into your life. You don't fight back. You leave them. You know what I mean? You don't give that energy to them anymore. Remember what we said. We're not spending energy on these types of relationships, you know what I mean, in 2022, man. Like, I just don't see the worth in that. How is that a fulfilling building relationship? If the person comes back and it's just, how are you to know if a person comes back and they're, someone who was once a gaslighter comes back into your life? How are you to know right off the bat? Well, I think a few, some of these points that I just read right out will straight up tell you, but how to know, like, right off the bat, I think you'll just lean on prayer, and the Spirit will give you a certain sense of intuition on that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can say that. Apology is an acknowledgement. If you can't acknowledge it, then LOL, you have nothing to be sorry about. Exactly. Apology is straight humility, man. Change behavior. Yeah, all of that. Apologies mean that you care about the relationship. You care about the thing. So, yeah, man. I hear that. Right. That's pretty much I had on the presentation part for blogs and everything like that. I can read and we can discourse about this all night, but I'd like to get into some closing scriptures to send this home for you all. And yeah, man. Self-examination, right? It all comes back to self-examination. How am I attracting these relationships into my life? What do I got to do to weed out these types of relationships? And yeah, what am I doing spiritually? Am I doing something that's off, that's attracting these types of things into my life? And if so, I'm going to examine myself, and yeah, I'm going to take full accountability for what I've brought into my life, and I'm going to take full accountability to changing that. Yep, if they say what they're apologizing for, then that's a good start. Yeah, that's definitely a good start. You know what I mean? If they can actually name what it is that they're, sorry about, then yeah, I would agree. But yeah, let's get into these closing scriptures, and yeah, man, I'll elaborate on these closing scriptures, and yo, man, I'll send you all off. Proverbs 16:3. Again, we're going to go into some wisdom. Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established." That relates right back to Matthew 6:33, man. The classic Lord's Prayer. The classic Lord's Prayer, man, at the end of it, or after he was done explaining the reasoning behind the Lord's Prayer. What did he say? What did Christ say at the end of the Lord, after giving the disciples and people the Lord's Prayer? What did he say at the end? "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." Right? Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established." Seek the Most High's ways and morals, not your own or that of the world, which is bringing and attracting these abusive relationships or causing you to be abusive. Right? Seek the Most High's ways and morals. This thing will sharpen you up, man. As much as people, deny it or ain't about it, this thing will sharpen you up and make you solid, man. And yeah. And you'll find that you're not bringing these types of things into your life any longer, man. Straight. I'll give you 3 scriptures. Next one, Psalm 139:23. "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts." Same idea. You are asking the Most High to search out your real motives and intentions. If they are not pure, pray and ask the Father for a change of heart. And that links back to Romans 12:2. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You know what I mean? Yeah, it all starts with self, man. What are you doing that's attracting these types of things? Like what circles of people are you rolling with? If they're not clean, if they're not pure, ask the Most High to show you that, and humble yourself down to him, and man, walk differently, and ask him to bring you, just pray about all of it. Ask him to bring you new relationships, new friends, take you out of these relationships and be a better person, yo. And last one, we're gonna go back to the New Testament. I actually wanted to end with Christ, but I think I threw it into the first. I precepted it to the first one. Galatians. Galatians 1:10. It reads, "For do I now persuade men or God, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ." So yeah, man, you have, again, people pleasing, right? We were speaking about this earlier. If you're a people pleaser and you're trying to, just please men and just not, you're going to, if you're like a hopeless empath, just trying to please everybody, it's unhealthy. You know what I mean? Seek to please, seek to walk like Christ, please the Most High, please Christ, and you'll find that you won't attract these things into your life anymore, man. I promise you that. Yo. With that, I'm gonna play a song from a group that I used to be in. Sure, why not? The Real Sora. I think we can close out with this song. This song is called "Lose Control," and it's a song by The Bloodline, a group that I was once a part of. And you can check out some of the lyrics in relation to this stuff. This life will make you want to lose control, but no, no, no. Have a good night, everybody.
why you're hurting now. Because I'm saying it must come down. Sometimes you really gotta slow it down, so you can find your way. But what's like if you don't get to learn from correction, all the pleasure and the pain? If you don't know yourself, then you don't understand this world. And if you don't love yourself, then how you gonna love your girl? This world will make you wanna lose control. Success will make you wanna sell your soul. But you know you're worth more than gold. Tell me why you wanna let it all go.
Life will make you wanna lose control. No, no. So life will make you wanna lose control. But no, no.
Stumbling, wondering, why are your words fumbling? Do you leave love?
All right. Oh my gosh, Toronto. Selena. Best night. All right.
Proverbs 24:16.